It's time for Sunbelt Conference Baseball on ESPN as we welcome you inside Pete Taylor Park, Hill Denson Field here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where the South Alabama Jags and the nationally ranked Southern Miss Golden Eagles are meeting for the 114th time as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. I'm Jason Baker, alongside my color analyst, Chris Kirtland. And Kirtland, as we mentioned on the open, 114 times these teams have met on the baseball diamond. Two rivalry teams kind of don't like each other. Makes for great storylines for the weekend.
No doubt, Jason. A lot of history between these two ball clubs. Not too much territory between the two. They meet each other on the field now more often now that they're in the same conference, but definitely played a lot against each other throughout the course of time.
The Golden Eagles are coming off a conference series sweep last weekend over in Monroe, Louisiana. South Alabama dropping 2 of 3 against Louisiana. The Jags would love nothing more than get going against the Golden Eagles. Southern Miss wants to return to their winning ways off a midweek loss.
That's right, Jason. 2 teams, 6 games into conference. One team has 5 wins. The other team has 5 losses. But still a lot of baseball left in conference play. These two are going to get at it this weekend, trying to get back in the standings for one side, and then another team trying to stay on top of the standings.
That's exactly right in the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. It'll be the South Alabama Jags batting order when we return to Pete Taylor Park. Batting order for Mark Calvey's ball club, and I've turned your attention to Kyle Morrison. Red hot, 6 RBIs in a ball game last weekend. Hit a homer on Tuesday night as well, Kirtland.
That's right, Morrison steady at third base as well, batting .347 for the year. A guy that can drive some runs in and be a force in the middle of this South Alabama lineup.
Really got him back into the ball game in that early matchup against Auburn on Tuesday night. On the bump tonight for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, it's the ace, JB Middleton out of Yazoo City, Mississippi. He's sort of crafting in his 10th career start, happens tonight.
That's right. Middleton has been a steady force on Friday nights for Southern Miss so far this season. A guy that's striking out almost 4-1. He's a guy that has professional level stuff. When he's working at the kneecaps, makes his slider and changeup even more effective. Fastball up to 97 miles per hour.
At this point, that would lead you to believe the record should be better than what it is. Brennan Holt turns on one to center field. Jake Cook scampers over to make the catch. There is one away
to do here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of baseball left in the season. John Smith wears one. 23 in the stolen base department. 1-2 changeup for JB. Slider, ground ball. Ozzie Pratt will charge. It's an easy shovel over to Nick Monaster for the force out. That's it for the top of 1 for the Jags. Just a hit batsman was all to speak of. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Christian Ostrander's batting club and the Golden Eagles begins at the top with Jake Cook, but it's been Matthew Russo who's really been swinging a hot bat. 3 for 5, couple of homers on Tuesday night against Nichols.
That's right. Matt Russo really emerging as a real force in this lineup all year. Watched for him to be better against left-handed pitching coming into 2025. So far, he has been facing another lefty tonight.
Boy, that's a big improvement from a year ago. It is a lefty tonight. Zach Willingham, he's a Mississippi native out of Cleveland Bayou Academy. 2 guys out of the MAIS system on the bumps tonight. I'm excited to watch Willingham go to work.
That's right. Maybe a guy that doesn't have many starts under his belt this season, filling in on a Friday night, looking to try to challenge this Southern Miss lineup.
When you look at Duncan Matthews behind the plate, Brennan Holtz out in center field. John Smith the third, not out in right. There's a scratch there. Joshua Stevenson will be the right fielder tonight. John Smith the third. Wasn't quite sure if he would be in the lineup for the South Alabama Jags, but he is not out there defensively, but in there to swing the bat as the designated. 0-1 ground ball. This is hit sharply right at the first baseman, Lucas Ishmaeli, and it's a foot race that he beat
into the left-handed batter's box.
Ground ball right to Ishmaeli again. Same result on an unassisted put out by the first baseman. He's high fastball. We've got a full count for the first time tonight. Zach Willingham issues a 2-out. The 0-2. Boy, big wrinkle from Willingham. Really pulled the string. That one started behind Russo, finished on the inner half. The big cut from Russo. No score after 1 tonight in Hattiesburg. We'll be back with more Sunbelt Conference. Good for fourth best on the team. 2-1. This is lifted out in the left field in front of Davis Gillespie. Ismaili Omeka turn. Gillespie's there quickly.
Doesn't get as high and the fatigue doesn't set in as soon.
Ismaili takes off. A good throw from Tucker Stockman. They believe Ismaili was tagged on his shoulder by Oz. 2-2 changeup. Tay, the second baseman tonight for the Jags, making his 13th start. Little line out to Matthew Russo. And that's it for the Jags. The single off Ismaili. He was caught stealing. That was all to speak of at the top of 2. We'll be back. Ground ball off a high hop over to Ty Brooks, who will get it across the diamond, and there's one away.
It is really indicative of the season that he's had, hitting even better off of left-handed pitching than he is against right.
Blitz. 1-2, big cut from Tucker Stockman. Get in scoring position or make pitches when he needs to. And here's an example as Dre Barrett gets the 2-out single, and Carson Pato goes first to third on heads-up base running on the single out to center field in front of Brennan Holt. And here at least early, and Urban wears one right on the arm.
He's got to get set.
Stretch, fastball away. It's an RBI on a walk for Jake Cook. Second one of the inning, he walked Carson Pato on one earlier. And he has walked Ozzie Pratt here. Another walk that has led to a... See what Willingham chooses. He goes fastball. Gillespie lifts it to center field. Brennan Holt is there at the warning track. That's it for the Golden Eagle rally. 106 off the bat of Davis Gillespie, but the park contains it. But the Golden Eagles strike first. That's good news. They're 13 and...
Often they were able to scratch that board twice.
Climbs the ladder. That's 96. He can become a problem.
Change up. Wow.
Boy, because of that, a 1-2.
That batter's box, you're really not sure what could be coming.
It's the slider. 2-2. They say Brennan Holt went around. Did Joe Harris, our third base umpire.
Watch him get the foot down early against this lefty on purpose, because things like that can happen.
You're pretty good at this, Kirtland.
He sold out to the plan. He said, look, I'm batting against a lefty. I've got to shorten things up. I've got to get my foot down early. But guess what happens there? He sees the ball better. He sees it longer. And he's strong enough to put it off the scoreboard even with that style of approach. So kids watching at home, that's a big man that chokes up on the bat and sells out to his approach against a left-handed hitter and goes backside off the scoreboard.
Man, you should have thought about coaching or something at some point in your life. 405 feet from Matthew Russo. 103 off the bat.
Pitch that he was really selling out to what his approach was against Willingham, the lefty.
Nick Monaster joins the hit parade. He's got now 11
lineup, but guys like Russo and Pato have done a really good job of sticking to their plan. So there were a lot of spots and something really that Travis Creel, the guy in the Golden, is on balls. You're not necessarily going to work to give up an out.
Hot shot fielded beautifully by Kyle Morrison. The play is on a force up it.
Ball in the infield and getting it out.
Joey Urban's going to push this through the 4-hole, and that will play to run. Nick Monaster scores from third. It's a 4-0 Southern Miss lead with their fourth hit of the night.
Sometimes you just hit them where they ain't. And that was a cue shot off of the cap of the bat by Urban, but perfectly placed in the 4-hole for a 2-out knock and an RBI. The list is long, but that means you got talented guys and guys that are giving themselves a chance to play at the next level.
Jake Cook down swinging on a wicked breaking ball.
We saw a lot of curveballs, sliders and changeups, and there's a couple.
Middleton goes slider up in the zone. It's a bouncer to Matthew Russo off the bat of Kyle Morrison. Quickly 2 away.
They were able to find it and to go from being a guy that was sort of searching for himself and maybe throwing too many balls to a guy who's starting on Friday nights has been just a great story.
He's been dynamite so far.
Is hitting about 300.
That's right.
And that's a mark that you want to be at. There's a lot of really good ball clubs in the country that are hitting well below 300. Great things for this Golden Eagle lineup.
Gillespie on top of one. Kyle Morrison pumps it twice, fires it across, 2 away quickly for the Golden Eagle. Slider down and away. 3-2 breaking ball that missed inside. Willingham, this one skips away from Duncan Matthews. He has been a wall back there. He's had to deal with a lot of balls down in the turf. This one off the handle of the bat.
Oh, the things you can talk about in a dugout.
It then turned. The conversation ended. They're going to say that ball got a piece of Nick Monaster. Willingham to Pato. It's a ground ball. Platte's got it to second baseman, over to first. And that's it. The Golden Eagles, little mini 2-out rally. Score remains 4-0. We'll be back. 2-1 fastball. This is lifted up. Ozzie Pratt's going to take control of this one. And he'll make the Middleton slider. This is Chop the Russo. PFP in play. Middleton's a good athlete. He was
say that he throws the heater here, and I was wrong.
3-2 slider. 1-2. That was a changeup called strike 3 to Josh Stevenson. The 7th strikeout of the night by JB Middleton, and that's it for the top half of 5. 4-0 Southern Miss here at Pete Taylor Park. 92nd pitch from Zach Willingham, and Tucker Stockman yanks one right past the third baseman, Kyle Morrison. 3-1 fastball. Barrett goes the other way. This is out in the right center field and down. For a base knock from Dre Barrett. Change here at Pete Taylor Park on this Friday night of Sun Belt Conference action. They go to a low arm slot. Dalton Brooks, the senior out of Sharpsburg, Georgia, in at 6'2". He's been used quite a bit. A save on the season, 14 in 2/3 innings pitched, surrendered 13 hits, 5 runs in that span. It's swing and miss stuff, Kirtland. He has struck out 16 versus walking 6 to this point in the season.
Of Dalton Brooks here.
2-2
slider.
Urban back up the middle on the line out to Greg Platte, the second baseman. 2-1 tapped right back to Dalton Brooks, who will casually make the throw up to second base. That time that he had to wait.
A run crossing.
Ozzie Pratt turns on this baseball down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It's not. Either of those. Inside the park, Josh Stevenson. That ball died in the wind. Load of changeups to go with him. 2-2 pitch. It goes breaking ball behind.
For this South Alabama Jaguar offense.
Brennan Holt puts good wood on this. Out to center field is Jake Cook, who runs it down. That was full count payoff pitch. He goes heater upstairs. Little bouncer over to Ozzie Pratt. John Smith can run well down the line.
Want to swing at, but he's been able to get it in there for a strike all night long.
Springs off the mound like a cat. Throws it over to a bull. That'll be it for the top of the 6th inning. Jags strand a runner. 4-0 Southern. Full count to Gillespie. This one wide of the plate. It's a walk out of the hand.
Job staying back on the left-handed pitch and banging it off the scoreboard. This time it was a little bit tougher, waiting back on that 7.
Balls rampant across the country. Look at this, a slider out of the hand of Dalton Brooks, wide of home plate. A wild pitch allows Gillespie up. I think Monaster's hunting that fastball. He put this into the right field corner. Josh Stevenson will get the throw in, but it's an RBI single by Davis Gillespie. by Nick Monaster, blading Davis Gillespie. Second base knock of the night for Nick Monaster. The Golden Eagles on top, 5-0. Harlan, I was alluding to the point I was getting ready to go to you to say your approach has got to be trying to seek the fastball, right? 2-2. This is rocketed right past Lucas Ismaili. Carson Pato's thinking two. He'll have it.
So that was a count that the team felt comfortable in sending in. We've talked also before about hitting a ground ball with one out, no matter what. Using the term cutting the field in half and trying to use that backside for timing's sake. And Dre Barrett did that right there. Didn't allow himself to fall out in his front side like some of these other hitters did so far in this inning. Stayed tall, stayed on his pole, stayed back in order to drive the baseball. It was a 75-mile-an-hour pitch, so a slow pitch, maybe the changeup again working. And Dre Barrett was able to stay back and drive 2 runs in here with 2 outs for this Golden Eagle offense.
Well, you know, Travis Creel told
us with 2 outs is a way to do that.
Joey Urban swings and misses on the Frisbee slider from Dalton Brooks, but not before the Golden Eagles get 3 more runs. They lead it 7-0 tonight after 6 here in the Berg.
Giving certain guys fits, but Dre Barrett able to deliver when his team needed it most.
Jake Cook is camped underneath this baseball, shy of the warning. That one back over the plate. They say Ismaili on the check swing. In fact, it's the only time he's walked the Jag. 3-2. Walking this one, that's a slider for you. 10 strikeouts for JB Middleton. That matches his career high. We'll move on after the 7th inning stretch at Pete Taylor Park here in Baseburg. The Eagles use 5 in their loss to Nichols on Tuesday night. Jay Cook wears a slun, and Jay Cook, he goes off speed. Ismaili covers it up. No throw as Cook was practically a pace away from South Alabama making a call to the pin. Another low arm slot guy, the senior right-hander out of Martinsville, Virginia, Garrett Kangas, on for South Alabama, trying to induce a ground ball of some kind of Mark Calvey. You've got Jake Cook in scoring position as well. Dalton Brooks' night is done in South Alabama, making the call to the pin. Rio that missed down. And it's a walk. Matthew Russo is homer by Matthew Russo. 2-2. Monaster fights this one off. Kyle Morrison will take the out. That does score Jake Cook from
no matter what. Yes, the infield is playing in that scenario, but he's still going no matter what.
Intentionally walk. 2-2. Lucas Ismaili catches the line out, but the Golden Eagles get a run without a hit. They now lead it 8-0 after 7 innings of play tonight in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We'll be back with more Sunbelt. 10th career start. He's getting better with every one of them as he picks up.
Good velo for a breaking pitch. There it is again. Kind of buried it there.
Ground ball over to Nick Monaster. It's throw to Matthew Russo. A couple of seasons ago, we told him to get Rob Freeman on the phone. They might want to do it for that. Facing Garrett Kangas. This is hit softly out to the second baseman, Greg Pate, who makes the catch on the line out. It's really had more to do with the development of Joe.
That includes some guys earlier in that lineup as well. But when you get those many freebies, it's typically an indication of strike throwing percentage too. And sometimes Mark Calvey, you want to see the home plate umpire make that call.
3-2. 1-2. Gillespie down, swinging at the Frisbee slider upstairs. That's it for the mini rally for the Golden Eagles. They had 2 on, but they'll leave them there. We've played 8 tonight. New pitcher should be on the mound for Ostrander, going with a fiery and intense freshman right-hander. Michael Wascom is in out of Bogalusa, Louisiana. That means JB Middleton's night is done. 8 innings, 12 punch-outs, 1 walk, 1 hit tonight for JB Middleton. He looked like the best pitcher in this league to me.
No reason not to.
Changeup lifted, left field. That's Davis Gillespie who's underneath it. 3-1 count to John Smith. Two-seamer that just missed out.
It was hard to tell. Definitely off speed.
This ball is hammered to right center field off the bat of Kyle Morrison. Back-to-back ball games for him with a homer. All the way back to last Sunday against Louisiana, and he puts the Jags on the board. The shutout gone. It's an 8-2 ball game here with 1 out in the top of the ninth. That ball was touched to 434 feet later. That was a changeup in the heart of the plate.
Big hitter for South Alabama.
And it's a ground ball over to Dre Barrett, who's got it over to Matthew Russo. And there's 2 away. 3-1 pitch. Fastball just off the plate. Michael Wascom to the plate. 3-0s wide. That's a 4-pitch. Jalen Best, the senior left-hander out of Mobile, Alabama. On for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Going to inherit 2 runners here with 2 outs. Trying to get that final 27th out of this ball game. JB Middleton worked 8. He was not up and ready on the pitch clock from Chandler Best. That awards ball 4. And here in the top of the ninth, this fly ball is popped up. Wind is going to blow it back towards the line. Tucker Stockman. An acrobatic catch. This is the W. Golden Eagles win it tonight, 8-2 over South Alabama, but not before the Jags threatened. Here in the top of the ninth, they strike for a couple of runs, but Chandler Best comes in, gets the pop out in foul territory. Kirtland, the story of the night. JB Middleton and a couple of veteran bats in that lineup. Matthew Russo, Nick Monaster have some big swings, and Dre Barrett as well, the 2 out, 2 RBI single. Overall, a nice performance from Southern Miss.
Yeah, it's just a great complete game for Southern Miss on this Friday night here. And now they're going to pack it in for the evening and watch this rain come through tomorrow and hope to get out here later on after it all passes for game 2.
That's exactly right. Enjoyed it with you, my man. We'll have you back into this booth on Sunday afternoon. It'll be a first pitch at 7 o'clock tomorrow for game 2. For Chris Kirtland, for Marty Wyndham, our statistician, I'm Jason Baker. Special thank you to each media relations department. We couldn't do this without Lee Field and his entire camera crew. We appreciate you being a part of us at Sun Belt Conference Baseball on ESPN.